Do you always know what you're doing every day?
Well, in school, no. After school, no.
So we have this Cozyla thing, and it's supposed to kind of give all of us access to what everybody's doing.
It acts as a family digital hub, taking your chore chart in your calendar and our calendars and putting it on a big screen that's as big as
10 tablets.
It's quite big.
Also, I think about it like this visibility access where sometimes I might get annoyed if people ask me like, what are we doing today? Or what are we eating tonight? And I'm like,
What's for dinner?
yeah. So it's nice to where I might not have to answer that question 100 times, or that I could look forward to that.
There's like a technical aspect of it, like the screen size and all the other stuff, which those are important. But what does it look like to be successful or to own this product and you actually like, oh, this is good, I can recommend it to someone?
Number one is that we're using it.
Yes.
So it has to be something that's easy to use.
Yeah.
It has to be something that is easy to integrate into the stuff we're already using.
Yeah.
So like whatever calendars and how I don't know if we can send stuff to it, things like that to make sure that's easy for us to add to it. And that's gonna be useful for the whole family. I want Miles to be able to do stuff with this. This is not just us. So that way, if like on your agenda, Miles, for school, where you're putting, oh, I need to do this or put this in my bag, that you can add that to help us out, because we're not always gonna look at your thing, even though we're supposed to.
Okay, so let's take a look at it.
It's pretty. It's like a pretty color. It's Miles' favorite color.
Yeah, it's my favorite color.
What does it say?
You meet your family's new sidekick.
I mean, it is the best color. What color is this?
Like ocean aqua. Oh my gosh, this looks so nice.
I want high traffic. I want us to come downstairs in the morning from our bedroom and be like, today we're gonna eat this. That's what I'm thinking. Or like, oh yeah, Miles has like polka dot day at school or something. So that's why I like it right here. We're not gonna miss it. No.
It looks like these get threaded beforehand.
No, and no rotatable, not with this one. Push it in more. There. Yeah. There you go.
There it is. Okay, now we do the tightening.
It's almost the same color as our curtains.
Definitely.
That's cool. Oh, look at this.
So we've been living with this for a week, and let's talk about like what our thoughts are over it. So there's a couple overarching features that I'd like to talk through. So let's start with the calendar, because the calendar is probably the most notable. I think it's the thing that we were initially attracted to, right?
The calendar,
Let's call
the Cozyla Calendar.
Cozyla Calendar. And so I think it's very useful for someone, a family like us, someone who are two parents who are both very busy. We've got a lot of things that are going on consistent or regular basis. You know, you own a business, I own a business. We both have full-time jobs. We have a child who's very busy. And having a single pane of glass to see all of the different events, like what you're doing, when you're doing it, if you're traveling, if I'm traveling, is like super duper useful. Like I can't even state how useful that is, because where we put it, when we walk downstairs, it's like front and center and you see it. I guess, what are your thoughts on the calendar?
At the very beginning, I was very focused on placement because I am concerned about usage. And we picked a good spot for it because of this high traffic nature of like the location.
Yep.
So thinking about where you put it, I think is important if you're doing this. Yes. So just like, where is it gonna be in my house? Because it's like your new friend, he lives there, you know? So it's like, I pass my new friend, hey, new friend. So we see this thing all the time, which is good. The transparency about our calendars is why we have it. I mean, it's a Cozyla calendar, so it's about having the calendar front and center and what that means for us in our day. making sure he's going to soccer or running club or whatever.
Whatever it is.
Whether I'm going to book club
Yeah.
or whether girls' birthday parties,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So making sure that everybody can see that. That's why it's cool. That's why it's there, and it's beautiful and ginormous, and you can't miss it.
We did put it horizontally instead of vertically, and I think that probably just because of our space, we don't have anywhere to put this big 32-inch.
We put it vertically, not horizontally.
Yes, thank you.
I still forget why we didn't do it. I think we thought it'd be too high up, but now looking at it, I'm like,
And we still have the mount, so we could certainly swap it out later on. Miles, any thoughts from you, like on the calendar aspect? Is it something that you like? Is it something that you don't like?
My thoughts on the calendar are like, how is this going to be used in the future, I guess?
And that's probably a good point, right? If you are in a household with, yourself, your spouse, and children, your children might not use the calendar maybe as much as you would want them to, or you think they would. They're going to use the other aspects of the chore, task management, chore management, YouTube, Roblox, games, because it is an Android tablet it does run Android, and it does have access to the App Store, which you enable, and you can download apps including Roblox and Minecraft, which my son very much likes. There's also task management, chore management, which I think is very good. Someone who is, just before double digits in age, they get to get a little bit more structure in their life around what they need to do and when they need to do it. Miles, you probably don't appreciate that structure. Like you need to clean your room, make your bed.
I don't like that.
Well, that's okay. You observe or you see Miles coming down and like checking off his chores, which he earns rewards for or has the ability to earn rewards for.
what's your
And
awards?
I did I added something called, good food, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called good food, and I made it 3 stars now.
So the next feature is the recipe management, meal planning. Like that to me is very cool. First of all, there's a whole host of included recipes. They seem to be automatically scaled for the number of people that you add in your house. So we have 3 people, and every recipe that I looked at was for 3 people. And I thought that was kind of neat that they went that far. All of the recipes, you could then find out, all the ingredients. You can add those ingredients to your grocery list. So when you go shopping, you have it there on your app or wherever you're doing your grocery shopping. But also, there's a YouTube feature where you could see people making similar recipes and you can search for those things. And I thought that was super cool. We watched a couple of videos, Miles, about desserts. And that to me was cool. But I think there's probably more that you can talk about with the adding of recipes.
I have been using apps to store recipes for years, many years. I have 1,000 recipes in another recipe app. So I was really happy that Cozyla has this built in because you have all these activities, but then what are you going to eat every day? And that gives me stress. It drives me crazy. When they're asking me at 4:30 what are we eating for dinner, and that I can scan recipes, even not just from websites, but I can also take my cookbooks because I love getting cookbooks for gifts and stuff. This kid has his own collection now of cookbooks. Which one?
Yes, I have 2.
What's your favorite?
The Dungeons and Dragons cookbook.
Yeah, so we like cool cookbooks here. And then if, we all get into it, even though you're I'm not going to use the calendar, you could add food for Mom, I want you to make this recipe tomorrow or something like that. So the potential is really good. And the ability to scan or add from the internet to a library, pretty awesome.
That's a really good point to underscore is that this is a tool and it won't work unless you put work into it. Sure, you have the recipes on there, but you have to actively apply the recipe to a day to understand what to cook. It's just not going to it's not magic where it just does all that for you. And if you go into it with the wrong mindset, this is going to be, it's just going to solve everything. It won't unless you actively manage your calendars, your chores, your recipes, all that. So there's this ownership that you have in being less stressed, less overwhelmed, which is part of it.
It's the whole habit building thing. If you make a point to do it every day with anything, you're going to build a habit and it's going to be part of your routine.
So note management, I think it's okay, but I don't know if it's not why I'm buying this. I'm not buying it to write notes to people. Yeah. It's something that is available to you. Let's talk about who it's not for. So I think it's probably very easy to say who it's not for. It's probably not for a single person. It's probably not for retired people, maybe though, depending on the recipe management, that would be good.
I don't know. I mean, my parents were interested in this. They thought that was really cool because even still, we have, they have their appointments and doctor's appointments or reminders for, a lot of people like the meal planning function of just kind of laying out this.
What's nice is that dashboard when you first come up to it and it's on, it just shows like the time and that picture in the background where it shows what events you have coming up from the rest of the day. Like that's actually something really nice. So maybe I'll asterisk my statement. It's not for retired people. It's for people who, not for people who may basically live a life of leisure, but someone who's got things that need to keep track of and appointments you need to go to, totally for them. Who is it not for also? I mean, I don't know. I think anybody with a family.
I agree it's family focused, and especially on the size. Like if you're going for the big one, having it big enough for everybody to like put their fingers on it and do things with it, I think is good. If it's the single person might be getting the smaller one if they just want to do meal planning inside their kitchen. That's probably the difference.
Yep. So in hindsight, would you prefer the larger one over the smaller one?
I mean, the smaller one might be good just because then I could bring it into the kitchen more easily. Like some people, if they have a massive kitchen, they could bring that in there and do the cooking straight off the screen. I think that would be neat, but I'm always gonna like have my cookbooks, I think, because it feels nice. It's a little old school, but I do like them. They're cool. But for the transparency between the family calendar, the big one is the way to go.
If your primary use is like calendar management, task management, the big one's the way to go for sure. The small one is still good at that, but if you're using it as like something adjacent to cooking in the kitchen, like that way, I think the small one might be better just because of the space constraint or it's being optimized for the space. I mean, do you have anything else that you want to add, either one of you?
A lot of the stuff in the cooking is like, okay, this is not for me, so.
Not for me being you?
You're a little chef, though.
Not for me being most kids out there. Like, I don't want hot red bean soup.
Oh, you're talking about the actual recipes.
Stop shaming me.
I'm not shaming you.
So there is a recipe for a $50,000 hamburger or cheeseburger. I'm not sure what it is. I definitely want to make it because $50,000 cheeseburgers just sounds amazing.
We can probably sell it for $50,000.
We do have a pretty good barbecue skills in this house, but that's besides the point. The recipes that you're talking about, there is a wide variety, and that's to suit all different types of people needs, right? Like not everyone's going to eat the same thing all the time, and not everyone's going to get a little bit of variety.
Maybe keep the meal things away from your kids because it shows what the ingredients are and tells you how to make them. So your kids can basically make 3-in-1 lemon sponge cake.
I want you to make this one.
Your kids could just gobble that down after they make it, and they probably could get sick because they probably didn't cook it or something.
Remember, there's the adulting is hard. Remember that?
Yeah, adulting is hard. That's amazing. It looks amazing. There's like marshmallow. It looks so delicious. Adulting is hard. I'm not an adult though.
I think they could figure that out. So, Laura, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
It's pretty. I like it. I mean, the 4K, it looks fabulous. It does. I like it.
So I think from my side, the only thing that I would add is that we have a lot of calendars. Like I have a calendar for almost like every different aspect of my life. And I think because we have a lot of different calendars, you just have to be careful when you're adding the event to the Cozyla because, when you're adding it, you can add the owner of the calendar. And if you switch the owner, it'll delete the calendar invite and then re-add it. And then you don't have the same information. So that's just something to be mindful of. I don't think there's anything else. I genuinely like it. I think it's probably like one of the cooler things that we've gotten for our family. And I think it's going to be useful.
I know how to use it properly.
Oh, that you're just the expert. And I think on that note, thanks very much for Cozyla sponsoring today's video. There'll be a link down in the description where you can go ahead and pick it up. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. We'll talk to you guys in the next one, right?
Yeah.
All right.